I'll let people come in first. Okay, I'm going to admit people to come in now. Then once you're ready, you can start talking.
Okay, perfect. Hello, everybody. Good morning and good evening, depending on where you are joining from. Welcome to Lady Niguma for the World. I'm Nicole, one of the yoga and meditation teachers here at the Yoga Studies Institute, and I'm joining you today from New Jersey. Please feel free to introduce yourself and where you're joining from in the chat so we can all welcome each other. Singapore. It's so nice to connect with all of you. Kazakhstan, Taiwan, Singapore. It's so beautiful to connect the whole world together with this practice. Taiwan, welcome. Jim from snowy Oregon, Taiwan, China, welcome. Malaysia, welcome. And North Carolina, I love it. It's so beautiful to have the whole world practicing for peace. Well, let's get started. I'll just introduce a little bit about the practice first. First, I am so excited and grateful to be guiding this very special group through a 45-minute Lady Niguma yoga practice with a focus on creating peace in our world. I would like to thank my teacher, Geisha Michael, for giving me this priceless and most precious gift of these teachings. I am truly honored to be sharing them and passing them on to all of you. Lady Niguma created this yoga sequence about 1,000 years ago. She married a prince who was also a yogi, and they both eventually decided to leave the life of the palace to practice yoga full time. Lady Niguma is a great example of someone that realized that happiness does not come from others or material things. And she reached the ultimate goal of yoga, stopping how the mind turns things around. It's important to keep bringing our mind to understanding where our reality comes from. Through this understanding is how we plant seeds of peace and stopping ourselves from creating that what we don't want to see in our world. Our mind and our body are closely connected. The way we experience our reality comes from past seeds we have planted with our thoughts, our speech, and our actions. We have 72,000 channels that run through our body, and they're like veins made of light, and energy called prana runs through them. There's actually 3 main channels in which our thoughts run through. So the right channel is called Pingala, and thoughts of ignorant desire run through this channel, like anger. So it starts on the right side of the nose, and it goes up the skull and down the front of the spine to the perineum and down the leg. And my favorite example of this ignorant dislike is yelling at a barking dog to stop barking. And you plant the exact seeds to keep hearing the dog bark. So we also have the left channel, the Ida channel, and thoughts of ignorant desire run through this channel, like jealousy or greed. And it starts on the left side of the nose, goes up the skull and down the front of the spine to the perineum, and then down the leg. And an example of this is like eating the last cookie in the box and forgetting that it's better to split the cookie with your friends so that you can both enjoy it. In the middle, we have the Sushumna channel. And in this channel, thoughts of understanding, love, and compassion run through it. So this one starts in the middle of the eyebrows, and it goes up the skull, down the front of the spine to the perineum, and it stops at the sexual organs. And here, thoughts of joyfully helping others to see them happy. This is that type of energy that runs through the channel. So this is where we want our energy running. So the side channels are not so nice. They wrap around the central channel and they cause knots. And these knots create our chakras. Chakras are often depicted as these beautiful elements, but these are the points in which our Sushumna channel is being choked. Through yoga, we're loosening these knots and bringing energy into the central channel. In this series, Lady Niguma takes us through 4 types of poses at each chakra point. First, we do a twisting pose to undo the knot at each chakra. Then we stretch the channels so we can get more energy out of them. And after, we gather the energy into the central channel. And then we do a pose to disperse the purified prana through the 72 channels in the body. So are you ready? Let's begin. We will start with 1 sun salutation so we can get through the series to warm up our body. Starting at the front of the mat, lifting the toes up and then planting them into the mat, rolling the shoulders up and back and bringing our palms forward. So just take a moment here to settle into the pose, making that connection with the mat, feeling the support of the earth underneath you. Taking a deep inhale and a deep exhale. Take a moment to set your intention for this practice today. We're going to be focusing on peace, creating peace through our yoga. And with that, inhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Exhale, palms down and back. Inhale, bring the palms up and slightly back. Exhale, forward fold, hands clasped behind the back. Bringing the palms together if you can. Legs can be slightly bent. Inhale, release the palms to the mat, stepping the left foot to the back of the mat, knee down, heart open towards the sky. In this series, we always start with the left foot. Here you can lift your arms up if that feels good. And then bring them back to the mat and stepping back to plank pose. Starting to create some heat in the body, keeping the abs engaged. And we'll go through our first vinyasa, bringing the knees down to the mat, chest, chin down to the mat, and then lifting the chest up for baby cobra. Inhale, exhale, curling the toes under, pressing back for downward facing dog. Pressing the palms to the mat, bringing the heels towards the mat. You can walk it out here to warm up the back of the legs. And release, stepping the left foot forward now. Bring the right knee down to the mat. And you can stay here or lift up the arms towards the sky. Inhale, exhale, bringing the palms down, stepping into forward fold. Hands clasped behind the back if you can. Inhale, bring the arms up towards the sky, slightly back, and then in one movement, coming back down to forward fold, hands clasped behind the back. Inhale, release the palms to the mat, and now stepping the right foot to the back of the mat, knee down, heart open towards the sky. Again, lifting the arms up if that feels good. Bringing the arms back down, stepping back to plank pose. And we'll go through a vinyasa, knees, chest, chin to the mat, and then pressing the palms down, lifting the chest, releasing the toes for cobra or upward facing dog. Curl the toes under, pressing back, downward facing dog. And again, you can bring the knees in one at a time here to warm up the legs. Pressing the palms into the mat, trying to bring the heels to the mat. And release, stepping the right foot to the front of the mat, left knee down, heart open towards the sky, and then taking that option to raise the arms up if it feels good. Listening to your body, bring the palms down to the mat, stepping into forward fold, hands clasped behind the back. Inhale, releasing the palms, bringing them up towards the sky, slightly back, bringing the hands to heart center, and then palms down, facing the front. Taking a moment here, connecting with your body, feeling the different elements in the body, the heat, the water, the space, the wind. And then we'll start with our first chakra, taking a seat on the mat. And here we're going to bring the left leg out and then bring the right heel in under the body and then lift slightly up if you can and bring the heel towards the body, not completely sitting on the heel, but just tucked in. I like to have my leg a little bit at an angle, not straight out here. It helps to for me to imagine that I'm twisting the chakra. Since we can't really twist at the Muladhara chakra, we put pressure onto the chakra. So inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, turn towards your left foot and then grabbing your shin or your foot, wherever you can grab onto. And your leg can be slightly bent here. Just make sure your feet are flexed and your spine is straight. Taking a moment here, connecting with the breath. We're working on untwisting the knot at the Muladhara chakra. This chakra is connected with the element of space. So I'd like for you to take a moment and think of what brings peace to the element of space. The space in your body, the space in your surroundings. And let's switch to the other side. Right leg out, left heel tucked in. Hands up towards the sky. Look towards your right foot, and then grabbing your shin or your foot. And continuing this thought. For example, for me, having a nice clean space brings peace to my mind. When I have a messy place, I feel like my knot is tighter. Something doesn't feel right. And as soon as I clean my space, I feel a lot better about inviting people over and just about the element of space in my surroundings. And release. Good. So we've twisted, and now we are going to stretch to straighten the channels. So we're going to do bound angle pose. So just bring your feet together here. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bringing the chest towards the floor. Staying connected with the breath here. You're welcome to close your eyes. And try to keep a light smile throughout the practice. Notice it helps you breathe a little easier. And it loosens the knot at our third eye chakra. Imagine the energy coming out of the side channels and coming into the central channel, just filled with peace and love, a space filled with peace and love, whatever that looks like to you, to your perfect space. And gently release. So now we're gonna bring the legs into easy pose, just one in front of the other. In the next pose, we're gonna gather the energy into the central channel. So we're going to do perineal contractions. So you're gonna squeeze the muscles in between the legs and then release. The release is slower than the gathering the energy. So just follow my lead and try to connect the movements with your breath. So inhale, contract. Exhale, release. Inhale, contract. Exhale, release. Inhale, contract. Exhale, release. Inhale, contract. Exhale, release. One more. Inhale, contract. Exhale, release. And taking an inhale and exhale. So next we're going to disperse the energy. So we're going to do 3 drops here. You can use your hands to lift the body up and then lower, dropping the body 2 more times, dispersing the purified energy. And release, taking a deep inhale and deep exhale. Good job. So we'll take a vinyasa before we start the next pose. Coming into a plank pose, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, into cobra or upward facing dog, curling the toes under, downward facing dog. Good. Bringing the knees down, sitting back, swing the legs forward and bring the body all the way down to the mat. And now we'll start with the sacral chakra. So first we're going to untwist the knot. So we're going to do a supine twist here. Bending the left leg, place the left foot on your right leg, on the thigh or the calf, just avoid the knee. Grab your left knee with your right hand, bring your right arm towards the sky. Inhale, exhale, twisting over your left shoulder. So try to bring the left knee towards the mat and the right fingertips should be touching the floor. The left fingertips should be touching the floor. And if you can, bring the left shoulder to the mat, but just listen to your body. Don't push too hard. If anything feels painful, just release. Loosen the pose. Here we're working with the element of wind. So what does the element of wind have to do with peace? See how it connects with for you. Gently release. We'll switch to the other side, bending the right leg now. And then grab your right knee with your left hand, right arm towards the sky. Inhale, exhale, twisting to the opposite side. Keeping our mind at the sacral chakra and untwisting the knot. Our energy and our thoughts ride together. So when we keep our mind at the chakra and on our practice, it's much more powerful. For me, when I think of a peaceful wind, it makes me think of my speech. How can I make my speech more peaceful? And in what ways is it peaceful already? How can I amplify those qualities? And gently release. Pressing the upper body up. Straighten the spine. Flex the feet. Now we're going to stretch the channels. So grabbing onto your shins or your feet here. Your legs can be slightly bent. Keeping the spine straight and try to bring the chest towards your legs. So since after we unknot the channels, they're still not straight. We can't bring in as much energy as when they are straight. That's why we do this pose next before we gather. So we can get as much energy out of the side channels into the central channels as we can. Couple more breaths here. And release. So now bring your hands behind you. We're gonna go into Navasana boat pose. So you can keep the legs bent here. Keep your feet flexed if you can, or you can straighten the legs, whatever feels good for you. Just imagine gathering the energy, lifting up the hands towards the sky, bringing in the energy from the side channels to the central channel. So we can have a peaceful wind element, a peaceful reality. And gently release, bringing the upper body down towards the floor. Legs stay bent and bring your feet to the outer corners of the mat. You can bring the arms out here. And now we're going to disperse the energy through the 72,000 channels in the body. Inhale, exhale, bring the knees to the right side. Really try to bring the knees to the floor. And inhale, up, exhale, left side. Inhale, up. And continue this movement. And you're always supposed to start with the left side in this series. So I started with the right this time, but I just want to let all of you know that we're supposed to start with the left. Couple more times to the rhythm of your breath, listening to your body. And when you're done, bring the knees up. And we're going to lift up, come into a plank, and go through a vinyasa before we start the next chakra. So knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to cobra, or upward facing dog, pushing back to downward facing dog. From here, bring the knees down to the mat and stepping your left foot so it's at a 90-degree angle, lifting up the upper body. Both legs at a 90-degree angle here. I'll face the front so you can see me. From here, we're going to bring our hands to our heart center. Inhale, and we're going to twist over the left knee. If you can, bring your elbow over the left knee and keep your hands at your heart center. If you can't, just grab onto your leg. And then look past your left shoulder. You can even bring your eyes to the left corners. So now we're working with the navel chakra, and this holds the element of fire. So try to think of what type of warmth, what type of fire is peaceful in your life. This always makes me think of digestion and eating healthy food or exercise. keeping the body healthy. Gently release. And from here, we're going to go into straightening the chakra, coming into a forward fold. So stepping the foot forward and just relax the body here. Knees can be slightly bent. Try to bring the chest towards the body. You can hold your elbows here. Stretching the chakra. Stretching the side channel that we unknotted. So now bring the left foot back. So your right foot is forward, both legs 90-degree angle. And we'll do the same pose on the opposite side. Inhale, exhale, twisting, looking past the right shoulder. Eyes can go to the right corner, giving the eyes a little stretch. Taking a couple breaths here, keeping the mind at the navel chakra, at the point of the navel, right in front of the spine. Untwisting the energy there so we could plant beautiful seeds to create a world of peace through our thoughts, our speech, and our actions. And gently release. Bring the hands forward, and again, coming into forward folds. You can grab the elbows, or if you'd like, you can bring your hands facing up all the way under the feet. Taking a couple breaths here. Imagining straightening the side channels at the navel chakra. Taking a couple more breaths here. And gently release. Coming to a sitting position and then lowering yourself all the way down to the mat. Flex your feet. We're going to, and you can bring the palms of your hands slightly under the body. We're going to do 5 double leg lifts here, gathering the energy. So inhale, bring the legs up towards the sky, feet flex. Exhale, point the feet, bringing them down towards the mat, just hovering over. Inhale, flex, come up. Exhale, point, come down. 3 more. Inhale, flex, come up. Exhale, point, come down. 2 more. Inhale, flex up. Inhale, point down. Last one. Exhale, flex up. And then inhale, slowly, slowly, slowly come down. Just hovering a couple inches over the mat. And release. Good job. All right, press yourself up to an easy pose. And we'll disperse that beautiful, purified energy through the body with an exercise called Kapalabhati. So this is called Shining Skull, and it's a forceful exhale and passive inhale. So it's going pretty fast. We'll do 30 seconds. I'll just show you a quick example. So it goes like this. So you can see my my tummy moving as I inhale and exhale. All right, ready? Let's begin. And release. Deep inhale and long exhale. One more time. Deep inhale and long exhale. Good. So now we'll go into the heart chakra. So here you can start with your legs extended. Bend your left leg. Place it over the right leg. And your leg can stay straight here, or you can bend it, tucking it to the side. Left hand comes behind to support the lower back. And then right arm up towards the sky. Inhale, exhale. You can hook the elbow over your knee or grab the leg, and then twist, looking over the left shoulder. So now we're starting to untwist the 3 knots. We have 3 knots at the heart chakra. And in our tradition, this is connected to the earth elements. So peaceful earth. It always makes me think of structure, routine, pretty much includes all the elements. So just see what comes up for you. What type of peace can you bring in with your thoughts, your speech, your actions to undo these 3 knots at the heart chakra? Gently release, counter twist, and then to the other side. Right foot over the left leg, and then left leg can stay straight or bent, tucking it to the side. Bring your right hand to support your lower back. Left arm up, inhale, exhale, twisting to the opposite side. Again, you can bring your eyes to the corner here. Untwisting the side channels. Keeping that light smile throughout the practice. As if you notice, gently bring that smile back. Couple more breaths here. And release. And here we'll come up, start at the front of the mat. I'll go to this side. Stepping the left foot towards the back of the mat, right foot forward, bringing it to a 90-degree angle. Extending the arms out, looking past your fingertips. Stretching out the side channels. Now straightening the leg, bring your right foot forward, and then your left foot facing the short side of the mat, coming into warrior 2 on the opposite side. Releasing any seeds planted that you don't want to see ripen. And straightening the leg. Bring your right foot in just slightly. Bring your right arm up, and we'll go into modified Trikonasana, going towards the left side. Gently come up, switch the legs, left arm up, stretching to the opposite side. So we have a few extra poses on this side, at this chakra, since we have the 3 knots. And gently coming up, you can heel toe your feet together. And we're gonna stretch even more, bringing the arms over your head. You can interlace your fingers. I like to keep my index finger up here. Pressing the left foot towards the earth, then bring the arms over to the right side, stretching the left side of the body. Breathing into the left side body. Gently come up. You can switch the grasp of the hands. And then coming over to the opposite side, keeping that light smile, keeping your focus at the heart chakra, stretching the channels. And gently come up, release the hands. Next, coming into tree pose, rooting the left leg into the earth. Right foot comes to your ankle, calf, or to the upper thigh. Just don't place the foot on the knee. Find a focal point, a drishti, and bring your hands to your heart center. Couple more breaths here. And gently release. You can shake the legs out a little bit, rooting the right leg into the mat, left foot, ankle, calf, or upper thigh. Find your focal point. Bring your hands to your heart center, keeping the abdominal muscles tight. And gently release, shake it out. And we're gonna come back down to the mat. And bringing the body, the upper body, down to the mat. Bring your legs straight up. We're gonna go into half shoulder stand. So you're not going all the way up. You just wanna put pressure at where your heart chakra is. At the level of the heart. And it's different for everybody. You can keep your feet flexed here. Couple of breaths here. And gently release, rolling forward. You can cross your legs. Bring the body into plank pose. And then lower the body completely down to the mat. Taking a quick rest here. Bringing a cheek to the mat. Just taking a moment to rest here. All right, now we're gonna lift up the chest facing the front of the mat and then bring the legs up for locust pose. Gathering the energy here. And release, putting the opposite cheek onto the mat. All right, now you can do the locust pose again, or you can go a little deeper, grabbing your feet or your ankles. And as you inhale, pressing the feet into your hands to bring the body up. You can rock forward and back here if that feels good for you. It's a good little massage for the inner organs. And gently release, pushing back to child pose. Bring your hands to the side. Take a breath here. Come up. Swing the legs forward. And we're gonna do 3 rolls here. So you're just bringing the knees up over the head and then coming forward. Dispersing the energy. Good. And coming to you, sitting at the front of the mat, bring your hands behind you and bringing the whole body up for reverse tabletop. So releasing the head back here. Taking a moment here. Keeping that smile. And gently release, bring the whole body down to the mat. So now bringing the legs up again, we're gonna go into shoulder stand. Bring the full body up and support yourself with your hands. Taking a couple breaths here. So you can stay here, or if you want, you can bring the feet back behind you for plow pose. If you're in plow pose and your feet are touching the ground behind you, you can release the hands down to the mat. So at the throat chakra, we're working through a purified consciousness, a peaceful consciousness. Gently release and slowly bring the spine down to the mat and releasing the legs down to the mat. Taking the moment here. Okay, coming back up to sitting position, easy pose. So to gather the energy, we're gonna do a lock here. So we're going to exhale all the air in the body and then bring the chin down. All right, so let's take a deep inhale. And exhale. Bring the chin towards the chest. And release. Good job. So coming back down, for our last pose in this chakra, we're going to go for fish pose. Bring the body down to the mat. I like to lightly tuck my hands under the body and then pressing through the forearms, bring the center of the chest up towards the sky. And if you can, bring the crown of your head down to the mat. Listening to your body and what feels good for you. Being very careful here. Keeping that smile and just imagining a world with understanding, love, and peace in your reality. All the elements purified. To come out of this pose, lift the center of your chest, bring the chin towards your chest, and lower yourself down to the mat, releasing the hands to the side. Okay. Slowly coming up, we're gonna go through a vinyasa, or you can just meet us in child's pose. Your choice. So starting with plank pose, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, the cobra, or upward facing dog. Coming into downward facing dog. And then bring the knees down, coming into Padasana, child's pose. For our last pose, we're gonna go into either rabbit pose, going into headstand, or if you have headstand in your practice and you've done it with a qualified teacher in real life, go ahead and go into headstand. So for rabbit pose, I'll demonstrate. If you have headstand in your practice, you can go in. If you want to try rabbit pose, tuck your toes under, bring the crown of your head to the mat, and then if you can, grab the back of the feet. So this is option one. Just putting pressure at the tip of the head. Another option, if you want to just get the feeling of going into headstand, grab your elbows and then interlace your fingers. Bring the crown of your head in between your hands and then straighten your legs. And you can just stay here, putting pressure at the top of the head. So taking whatever option feels good for you. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And then slowly coming down, releasing into child's pose. Bringing to mind a blissful world of peace, reaching a blissful state and being able to help others reach this state and fill their worlds with peace. I'm here slowly coming up Bring the feet forward and coming into a well-deserved Shavasana after all the beautiful work you put in, allowing the body to fall heavy and completely relax, releasing any tension in the face, in the shoulders, the upper, middle, and lower body. Completely relaxed. Keeping that light smile and taking a moment of silence to rejoice in all the beautiful seeds you've just planted. Taking joy and taking one step closer to creating that world of peace in your reality. Taking another moment here to feel gratitude and appreciation for your body and your mind that's helping you get to this journey of ultimate happiness and peace in the world. Feeling gratitude for the space in your body and outside of your body that helps you experience all these beautiful seeds and purify seeds that also help you get closer to your goal. Starting to bring movement back into the body, feeling all the elements, the breath, the wind, the warmth, the fire, the water. And bringing your arms over your head, giving yourself a nice long stretch, bending the legs and taking a moment to lay on your side. This is my favorite part of the practice. I always like to stay here for a little bit longer. And when you're ready, bringing yourself slowly up to a seated position. Thank you so much for joining me today, joining the Yoga Studies Institute, where we get to teach these deep truths of yoga as it's been passed down for generations. And if you guys enjoyed it and would like to learn more, contact the distributor in your country to see what courses and classes they offer in your language. We have these events every second Wednesday and every fourth Saturday of the month. And our next event will be March 8th with the amazing, beautiful, talented Uta. And that will be at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So it'll be opposite of what it is now. So it's nighttime for me, morning for you guys. So it'll be opposite. It'll be a 12-hour difference. Lady Niguma, it's also very important for us to eat healthy and have a nice connection with our community. So I encourage you guys to grab some water and hydrate yourself after the practice. If you guys have any questions or want to share about your experience, I'll be hanging out here for about 10 more minutes. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see you guys. Good job, everybody. I'm so happy you all joined. And let me know, what was your favorite part of the practice? What element do you like to work with? Did anything come up for you?
I liked so much when you said that the wind element has some kind of relation to our speech. And it was awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the practice.
Thank you, Karina. Yeah, the more you practice, the more you start to connect everything. And the more you can use in your day-to-day. It's important for us to have this connection with our body since we're always moving. This gives us the time. Would anybody else like to share?
I can share. Hey, Nicole.
Hi, Shawanda.
Thanks for that. I think my favorite part of Niguma is always that reminder to smile. And it just always brings my mind back to the compassionate wisdom, which is really beautiful. So, and it just lightens everything. So I appreciate it every time you brought us back to the light smile. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Shawanda. Yes, I agree. It's such a difference. Like, this practice really made me connect with that as well. Like, you can feel how your body is connected with your energy when you're just like this. And then when you smile, it's like you can breathe and it feels so good. So whenever you're smiling, you're doing yoga.
One of my teachers always said that the advanced version of the pose, you needed to smile for it.
Exactly. I love that. That's really good. Yeah, and that's working on the third eye chakra as well. So we get that in there. I'd love to hear from Singapore. Lei Hong.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Hi.
Morning here. Yeah, I really enjoyed the class. I love the way you bring in the elements, each chakra. where we don't bring in the elements in our practice. I mean, during our regular weekly practice. Yeah. In fact, yesterday we practiced Lady Niguma yoga, the whole series at a park, outdoor, a reservoir. It was so beautiful. And we do that every Saturday morning. When the sun rises at 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I want to come next week.
Yeah, we welcome you. Probably we can Zoom thing, but I think the reception may not be so good. Yeah, we welcome the Singapore friends to join us outdoor yoga. Yeah, it's very lovely. Later on, I can share with you some of our photos. Yeah, in the Telegram chat.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would be awesome. I would love to see that. It sounds magical. You must have such beautiful seats already for the practice.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the space that we mentioned just now. Yes.
6 years already.
6 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
So Pinkyang is the one who started yoga, and then recent year during the COVID, then I joined him regularly practice.
Soon you guys will be doing yoga, Lady Niguma yoga in the clouds.
Yeah.
If you've heard the whole story, the story is that Lady Niguma does the series on an island in India, and her student goes to find her and he can't find her. And then finally he looks up and he sees them practicing in the clouds. I have a feeling that's going to be your group first. All right, so what about North Carolina? What's your favorite element or your favorite part of the practice?
Working with the chakra of great bliss at the top of the head. I think we work so hard to get there, you know, and just you guide us into us so beautifully tonight, and it was perfect.
Oh, thank you for sharing. Yeah, we do so much work to get there, untwisting, straightening, gathering, purifying all the chakras, and then finally we get to work on the great chakra of bliss. I agree, that one is very special. Geisha sometimes says, if you don't have time for the practice, it's great to take some time to do a headstand. It'll help energize you, and it just has so many benefits. All right, what about Malaysia? Is Malaysia still here? I'd love to hear from Malaysia. Sosi Law?
Yeah, I enjoyed the
You're breaking up a little bit. If you want, you can share it in the chat. I feel like this is already the great language of bliss, and I just can't understand it yet. But yeah, if you is somebody writing in the chat? Well, I am really enjoying hearing from everybody, so I'll just keep calling out names because it's fun. Carol, are you around? I'd love to hear what your favorite part of the practice is. All right, well, I'll keep going. What about Dora? Would you like to share?
Hello, Nicole.
And Dora, hi. Welcome.
Nice to meet you here. Thank you for the teaching this morning. It's very, very beautiful. Yeah, that's nice. I think this one, like Lei Hong says, you bring in the every element in the training, the practice, and during this chakra is really, really very helpful for us to remember all the elements. And it's nice. It can help us to really connect it with the body. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, that's why I brought it into this practice, because there's so many ways that we can bring peace into our worlds through all the elements. And it took me a long time, and especially the Lady Niguma courses with YSI really helped me to connect with the elements as I go through the poses. But the more and longer you do the practice, I'm sure Lei Hong could tell you, the deeper you start to experience it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, everybody. Let's see, who else is here? Jeff, do you want to share?
Hello, Nicole. Yeah, can you
Hi.
hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, maybe
I can hear you.
go first. And yeah, I have practiced Niguma for over 1 year and practice at 6 a.m. Guided by Chinese YSI instructor, and I really can feel the amazing changes. And yeah, that really is so helpful for the emotion and my work and the concentration. And I found that the most difficult part is the daily consistency. So maybe I want to ask you, so when we are so reluctant to practice sometimes, how do we overcome the reluctance to daily practice? Yeah, how to keep the daily practice habit? Thank you. Yeah.
Great question. Yes, that is the number one obstacle always to get through. It's like laziness. How do we get past our laziness? For me, it's different things. It's really great to have a routine, but sometimes I get out of the routine, and that's when it's hard for me. So I already have started going on retreats, some shorter and some longer. But I would start even with a 1-day retreat or 2-day retreat, just to give yourself the time and the space to get back into the routine. And if you've taken some of the courses on meditation, reviewing in your mind, what are the benefits of the practice? Sharing with other practitioners, even just hearing your experience makes me more excited, and just having this time to bond with our community. Yeah, I would try those two. Especially reach out to a friend. It's always a great seed to introduce the practice to a friend to keep going.
Thank you. I love this idea is that we can share yoga with people. In this way, we planting the seed of daily practice.
Exactly. Yes. Even just thinking about it, you're already planting good seeds, talking about it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we have 1 more minute. Would anybody else like to share?
Nicole, there is a question from Jim in the chat box.
Okay, let me see. I have a question about the throat chakra. I heard it is associated with speech, but maybe that is a different system. Yes, it is associated with speech as well. But we do have different systems, and I would say it's not so much about concentrating like the speech. I presented it with the wind element today, but also here that is also our consciousness. I presented it today, but also our consciousness. We create different seeds with our speech. So I would just focus more on the type of speech and being conscious of what are you creating with your speech. And it's always, I mean, for all of us, it's trying as hard as we can when we have that urge to, be upset with another person, to just hold back or walk away or even say something nice. So I think that's the most important, is just trying to work on our seeds with our speech. I hope that helps. Would anybody else like to add to that? All right, well, it is time. And I am so grateful for this experience, for being asked to teach, and for practicing with all of you. It was such an honor, and it just felt amazing. So I look forward to seeing you in future classes and practicing together again. And have an amazing day or an amazing sleep. And don't forget to rejoice.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you so much, all the translators we have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Annie. Thank you, Benji.
Yeah, feel free to unmute if you'd like. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thank you,
Sunday. Take care.
Nicole.
Great time.
Thank you,
Nicole.
YSI.
Awesome.
Thank you, YSI.
Thank you, all the volunteer behind the scene. Thank you.
And thank you so much, translators. You're amazing. I know it's not an easy job.